So there we go. All right, 3, 2, and 1. Well, Mayor Shane, welcome back. Mayor's Monday here at WSAU, WSAU.com. First off, tell us what we're standing in front of right now and how proud you are of this glorious outdoor space that encompasses everything behind you.
No, it's good to see you, Mike.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, it's been a while since we've done something in person.
No kidding.
But I am standing in front of a fence, a chain link fence, which is the border to our almost 9-acre large dog park. Over on the other side here, we have a small dog park that's just over an acre. And today's a big grand
Last week,
this is a big grand opening.
Sure. Yeah, and obviously we were here for the big leash cutting event. So now this space is open. It's ready to use for anybody that maybe is in town or passing through town that wants to let their dog stretch the legs a bit.
Yeah, absolutely. And we've learned 2 laps around the interior of the fence. 2 laps is a mile.
Okay.
So for the walkers, we anticipate eventually that that will kind of be a walking path, and hopefully we can asphalt it in the future and kind of take advantage of that. And we're kind of looking forward to that also. And yeah, we don't have an address here yet, but we're working on it. And so hopefully once we get that established, then you can Google it and be able to find it. But it's right near, not too far from Midstate in Wisconsin Rapids on Saratoga Street, so it's pretty easy to find.
Yeah, just across the border from Buren, actually, as I came into town and was kind of wondering where the line was, but it's not too far across the border. So.
Nope, we're close. We're right on the border of other townships around us.
Yeah, indeed, and it's a great, again, it's a public space. That's kind of what this project was about from the start, being able to create an outdoor space that dog enthusiasts can enjoy, and of course their dogs as well, as kind of a community project.
Absolutely, and I think town our size, it's important to have a dog park and this kind of space for people to let their dogs run and not have neighbors complain. And I think we have a lot of people turning out for it and using it, so looking forward to it.
And then one more thing about this before we move on, what we see right now is not going to be the iteration of this park that we see maybe even 5 years from now, maybe even 3 years from now. You want this to be kind of an evolving project as the years go on.
Absolutely. We're hoping a users group will be formed, and then they'll be able to kind of adopt some spaces in here, maybe make agility course. In the area outside the fence, we're planting more tree plantings. We have a lot of wildflowers and things that are seeded in this area, and so we look forward to seeing this grow and seeing what it becomes.
Yeah, and I certainly am too. I mean, again, it gets me down here to do something live in person in Rapids, because it's been an exciting project that we've been talking about for a couple of years.
Yeah, this has been in the works. Part of my campaign was I spoke about dog parks, and so even before I was even deciding to run for mayor, I was talking to city staff, and dog parks were an integral part of those conversations. And we also did a park plan, and part of that park plan was a request for a dog park. So it's kind of been a community passion, and here we are.
Yeah, indeed. Now onto the business of the city. Of course, this was a piece of the business for several years that is certainly going to be for a couple more as well. But the rest of the business of the city, of course, it's budget time. You're still finalizing that document. Give us an idea where you are in that process.
So we have kind of given an overview to the council. We are about, it's going to sound bad, but we're $2.4 million separated. However, we usually do borrowing for our street projects, so those options to fund that $2.4 million are being laid out right now, and it included borrowing. We have additional shared revenue. We have ARPA and FEMA funding available, so that $2.4 million is probably a lot closer than the way it sounds.
Right, and there's a few, and that's where a good finance director comes in as well. We were kind of in the same spot in Wausau a few weeks ago before that got worked out. So there's ways that you can move money around in the budget. There's pots of money that you can go to that can make up that gap.
Yeah, and hopefully we'll be able to make up that gap without having to make any cuts or anything like that. And but yeah, so hate to say it, we're close, but we're close.
Yeah, and of course you've got the extra money coming in this year as well with the extra shared revenue. I'm sure that's accounted for in the budget as well. I mean,
Not yet.
Not
so,
yet.
So that's part of the options, which is good. So that can help close that. If we decide to use all that funding, that can close that $2.4 million down to 1.4 million. So
exactly.
So we're not so far off.
What projects could people expect in the next year?
So we don't have any large projects. It's the usual street projects that are being discussed. There's no kind of large item type things right now in the budget. We hope to have some discussions later on, but we'll have to see how that develops. But there's nothing, I haven't done anything big grandiose except for the dog park, and
right.
That was room tax dollars and not city tax levy dollars. So we'll have to see. But I don't have anything planned. I don't have any large projects planned or anything like that.
We're not going to see a 10,000 seat arena in the near future, are we?
Not in Wisconsin.
Okay.
Or at least that I've been privy to yet.
Okay, well, it's worth asking. I mean, you never know. You never know. You could get the Bucks here somehow, right?
Possibly. We've got the Rafters and the River Kings. So
yeah, why not? Why not? So then, taking a look at what else you've got on the docket, I know you've got an event coming up to mark Free Speech Week as well. That's something that you feel very strongly about. A lot of people feel very strongly about.
Absolutely.
Tell us about that.
Yeah, so there's we've done a proclamation and trying to just highlight free speech, and I think it's important, whether it be citizens, the media. I think that's an integral part of our country, and we need to recognize that and embrace that, because there's a lot of places in the world that don't have that opportunity.
Oh, no doubt about it. I mean, just look at what we're seeing in the last couple of weeks, what's gone on elsewhere.
Yep.
You know, in how people have reacted to that. But so it's great to know that this is something that's going to be embraced by the city of Wisconsin Rapids, not only by yourself, but everybody else in leadership.
Yep.
So then one more thing, White Cane Awareness Day. This is actually something we talked about I believe it was last year.
Correct.
You brought it to my attention. I learned about it. I've seen other places that have taken it up as well. Tell us about this and why it means so much to you.
So I met with a lady who was visually impaired, and she doesn't have a dog, or at least that time she did not have a dog. And so she was trying to make me aware of white cane. And so based on our discussions, my assistant Emily came up with a proclamation, and so we want to make people aware of that there are people in our community, whether they have a dog or a white cane, that you really need to be aware of these things, especially they are walking around utilizing our sidewalks and our crosswalks, and you just need to be aware that there are visually impaired people that may not see you. And you just got to be aware of it.
And I think the timing of this is really appropriate as well, because we are coming up to winter. Obviously, one of the things that happens in winter is the snows a lot, which is why you have those city ordinances in place regarding the clearing of sidewalks and things like that, and crosswalks, because these people need to be able to navigate the city just like everybody else. So it's very important that they have a clear path to do so.
Yeah, we receive in my office a lot of complaints about unshoveled sidewalks, because people live in a community, and because of that, they expect that their sidewalks should be cleared and that they can utilize them. Everybody is very conscious of their health and walking, and so we do see a lot of walkers. So our business and our residents, within 24 hours of the end of a snowstorm, need to have their sidewalks cleared.
And that's obviously part of it, because you need to have that area cleared. You need to have the block cleared at the crosswalk as well, so that way they know on the cane that they're going to be stepping, or a crosswalk is ahead. Absolutely. And they need to take heed of that.
Absolutely.
One more, then before we let you go, we already talked about winter a little bit. How is the budget looking for snow removal for the upcoming year? What are you preparing for? Do you have the salt on order?
Yeah, we have a salt shed, so we should be good there. As far as I've been told, the budget's there, but that's one of those odd type of things, because if you're low on your budget, doesn't mean you're going to not plow. So you're going to have to shift money around. So we have a policy that the city council has adopted on how they plow the roads and what roads they plow based on depth of snow. And so when it starts to snow, hopefully a little bit later, and then doesn't last too long.
Right.
But we will be ready.
Well,
We have a fantastic crew. They're younger, but they've gained experience, and they go out and get it done.
Well, the Black Hills of South Dakota had a winter storm warning last week
Oh, really?
already. So just saying, it's coming. Who knows what it's going to look like, but it's always good to know that the city's got that great crew that's prepared to make sure that life is not interrupted too much.
Yeah, they're outstanding, and we're up from the Midwest, so we know we have to deal with snow and ice, and it's just all part of life here.
We gotten it this far. We haven't even talked about hunting yet.
Not yet. I haven't been in the tree yet.
You haven't?
No, I've been out there, but I haven't been in the tree yet.
All right. Well, I know somebody that's got at least a 10x8.
Wow.
Rounding their territory as well. I'm not going to tell you where it is.
You got to give up spots.
I've been sworn to secrecy, but I know that the itch has got to be there.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I kind of wanted to get my fall projects done, the yard, because I don't want to sit up in my tree and kind of think about I should really be home getting my yard cleaned up. So I'm kind of getting those kind of things taken care of, and hopefully here in the near future, I'll be enjoying some time in the woods.
Yes, indeed. And instead, just enjoy some time there in the tree stand listening to your favorite podcast through the earbuds, right?
Exactly.
All right. Well,
the benefits of technology.
Yeah, indeed. Wondering how they did this before podcasts were a thing. Well, Marisha, we always appreciate the time. Again, congratulations on the new dog park. It looks great. Can't wait to see the pictures on the city website of people out here using it, and of course the adorable shots of the dogs as well.
Sounds good. Great seeing you, Mike.
All right.